We all right. Let me put this on.
Like that. Like that.
All right, my brother.
What's up, man?
What's
Peace,
up,
man.
man? You know, it's
Peace.
good to have you, man. It's been
Thank
a
you, man.
while, man. You know, how long have we known each other, brother?
Man, man, you talking about, I don't know, man, since we've been like, since I was probably like 13, 12 years old, man,
Yeah.
I'm talking about, I'm 58 right now, you know what I'm saying? Man, we got a journal of lifetime together, man.
All
Hey,
right,
listen, man,
man. Yes, sir.
it's been a
Yes,
lot
sir.
of years, a lot of
Some
years.
decades, man. You know, and
Yes, sir.
I first of all, let me introduce this my brother. It's my brother Malie, Minhaj to some. You know, like you said, we go way back, and that's important because what we're dealing with now, as as a community, we're not. Our young people are not living long enough to be where we at. You know what I'm saying? And let alone have a bond that stand the
Mm-hmm.
test of time.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what we're doing in us, letting people know that look, this thing exists. As long as you could get past that stage of life, I like to say when you come out, most of us after, most of us grew up church oriented. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
After the
absolutely.
church, we got into the streets. A lot of us, you know what I'm saying? You, me, and a lot of our other brothers got into the streets. So, I like to say there's three parts. There's the
Mm-hmm.
thug. When you come out on the street and you're doing whatever it takes to build a name for yourself, you know? Then there's the gangster. You done did what you had to do. Now you done built a name. You got respect for yourself. And now you're able to use that name to benefit you in the
Yes,
streets and all those around you.
yes.
All right. Now, the third part is the gentleman, which a lot of young brothers never make it to that point where now you able to use the streets and your knowledge and understanding of the streets and the power that you pertained in the street, not only to help those in the streets, but to also help family members and in your community. You come to
Exactly.
that point where you ready to give back to the community. So I
Yeah.
would say that's where we are now. We to the point we done went through the thug, we done went through the gangster. Now we are the gentleman, where we
Yes, sir.
being family men, where we
Yes.
looking out for the young ones in the community, that
Yes,
type
sir.
of thing. So I like to break it. That's how I'd like to break it down, you know,
That's
um, for people to understand that there's three parts to it, and a lot of the young brothers are, some of them not even getting to the gangster part. They getting
exactly.
they getting murdered as the thug, going out there
Yes,
trying to
sir.
build a name for themselves, and they're getting murdered. And
That's right.
and we had guns. There were guns. Drugs and guns are not new to our community. What's
No.
new to our community is the lack of respect for life and the lack of respect for each other and the elders, the people around
Mm-hmm.
you, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm gonna stop right there, and I'm gonna, make it more about you, because you have a
Yeah.
story that I believe people need to hear, and I want you to be able to share that story with the people, so that that they could get an understanding of how you became who you are now. So that's
Exactly.
important. All right, so go ahead now. You can take it from
Thank
there.
Thank you, beloved. For, Peep Game TV. You know what I'm saying? I'm grateful to be on this platform with you, man. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. For those who don't know, I'm gonna translate. Have a tendency to, intertwine my Arabic with my English. So, bear with me. But alhamdulillah is a phrase that I have to use in this particular situation because it's a phrase that pretty much defines the path that I was able to travel. And that is all praise and thanks belong solely to God. Solely to God. I couldn't have done it without God. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't have done it without Allah directing me. But the greater part was me recognizing the signs. As ShaDee was just explaining, we go way back. um, Man, I'm talking about maybe I have to say I probably met ShaDee when I was about 13, 12 years old. Um, and from our neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? We grew up as men who were individuals, but yet we were individuals, but we were our own self, but we always maintained that unity as a group. We had our own identities, but yet we had that organized. I don't know how to explain it. It was an organized community existence between us. You know what I'm saying? We all just we moved as a family. You know what I'm saying? Not that, and like any other family, we had our beefs amongst ourselves, but when it came to us, we would take care of us. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that lived on 17th Ave know they was protected by 17th Ave. You know what I'm saying? I don't know any neighbors that were houses were broke into when their mothers and stuff walked down around the corner to Poppy's to the Henry store, whatever. They wasn't getting robbed, purses wasn't getting snatched. You know what I'm saying? We was just hustling on the block, trying to get paper. You know what I mean? Trying to take care of our family the best way we knew how, which was incorporated to us. But I grew up right there. Was actually raised on 17th Ave at the age of 8. I left 17th Ave, went to Oak Street, and right next to East School 15, right there by East Side's football field. And then, you know what I'm saying, as I journeyed through that part of my community, I still was attached to 17th Ave because I would go from Oak Street, which was in 17th Ave, was 2 blocks over up by East Side High. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it was nothing for me to just walk down the street back to my neighborhood, my old neighborhood, and hang out with the guys that I grew up with, and as yourself, and we formulated a family unit. That was important for me. I didn't realize it then, but today I look at the significance that it played in me becoming the man I am. A lot of people don't realize that in a community of urban confinement that we grew up in New Jersey or New York, in these type of areas, we're close knitted, and
Right.
it's
That's
like you know what I'm saying. You develop that family type orientated um, community existence. It's like you know, y'all out there trying to take care of each other. You know, and then in that clique, then you have different clicks inside that clique. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But yet we family, and we didn't rock flags. We didn't we didn't walk around with a Tyron with our flag representing. Nah, we just, it is what it is. We from 17th Ave. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I think we used to call 17th Ave Romas. You know what I'm saying? That, you know,
Right.
because
Right. The
everybody,
Romans.
you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Yeah, we used to go everywhere. We would go
Right.
everywhere. We went everywhere we wanted to go, and if it was a problem, we handled it. You know what I'm saying? But
Absolutely.
you know, the greater part though is, first off, you know, again, I want to thank you, brother. You've always been a leader amongst us. You've been a leader amongst leaders. You know what I'm saying? And as our older brother, how old are you? I'm older than you. You
About to
older than
be.
me.
Listen. I'm exposing, man. I'm about to be
Yeah,
61, man. I'm 60 right
I
now.
thought. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You older. See, I knew that. Yeah, I was a step down on you. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Right.
58.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
about to be 58. But
Right.
you always represented, man, and you know, it was good to have that type of example around us, you know, and be able to have somebody that, you know, I can identify with, look up at to as a big brother, you know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying, and you know, and that's how it was, you know what I'm saying. We didn't, I wouldn't say me and you, we didn't hang out like night like everybody, you know, everybody had their clique, but we
Right.
always was together. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? We
Right.
always, you
Right.
know, we always was together. We, you know, when it came to showing up at spots, there was a club thing going on one side of town. We would all meet. You know, we would all be there together. And that kind of relationship fostered in us a brotherhood that exists until now. And I'm
Absolutely.
grateful for it. You know, and I give all praise due to Allah for where you are today, brother, because you know, it's amazing to see you in this similitude right now. And this, it's great because, again, you know, I watched you for many years, you know, and at times I used to want to be nice with the hands like you know what I'm saying?
I'm
But
on it,
you know, I
brother.
had, you know what I'm saying, I had to, you know, and I had to get my
You
own,
held your own, though,
you
brother.
know, you know
Definitely
what I'm
held your
saying?
own.
I had to represent, you know, it was like, and it was just those things, you know, but it wasn't always about the streets with us. You know,
Right.
I can remember plenty of time we used to build, you know what I'm saying, and we would sit in back of the Josie,
Back in the
Mr. Josie
store, right?
store,
Jimmy
you know what I'm
Josie.
saying?
Yeah.
Jimmy
Shout out to
Josie
Jimmy Josie. Rest in power.
Jimmy Josie, justice, peace, man. You know, we love you, brother, and your father and your family.
Yeah.
You know, they used to comfort us, let us lamp. You know what I'm saying? And we used to
And
go
they
back there.
love.
Yeah, man. We used to go back there and build, like literally have, you know, times when we would sit down at the round table and we would talk about serious issues, you know, about change and things. And I don't think many of us knew that we would see ourselves where we are today, but that's what it was, you know. And I thank you again, man, for this opportunity, brother.
Yeah, I'm honored. I'm honored to have you, brother. You know, I'm honored to have you, you know, be here with me, you know, because as you said, you know, we didn't always all hang together all the time, but
Right.
as we know, in the tribes, there are different cliques that operate together, but it
Hmm.
still was cohesive that we
Hmm.
know that the love and the respect was there because you was from 17th Ave
17.
and you was a part
That's
of the
right.
family. So
That's
anywhere
right.
you went, that was your badge that you carried.
That's right.
That's what you
That's
carried.
right. That's
Where
right.
you from? I'm from 17th Ave. Oh, okay. Okay. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You
That's
didn't have
right.
to say anything else. That's what it
That's
was.
right.
You know what
That's
I'm
what it
saying?
was.
And
That's
and
right.
and like you said, it's a beautiful thing because what started off with what we call something negative, you know, with the drugs thing, turned into a lifelong brotherhood. And
Hmm.
not only that, we learned in how to grow into men with honor, with respect, with courtesy, as you said. When somebody's mother walked by, no drugs are being sold, nothing being nothing moved when the parents walk by. You
That's
know,
right. That's
so
right.
those type of
That's right.
things, that type of lifestyle that we lived, we still had honor and respect, and for our surroundings.
And,
So
and,
so,
and you
so
know,
go ahead.
in the build on to add on to that, that was the thing that, kept me attached to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I went through my days and my downfall of addiction and you know what I'm saying, my family, my 17th Ave family, they never turned their back on me. You know what I'm saying? Brothers, when I was going through my addiction with heroin and crack and things, even though I'm selling it, I'm also addicted to the lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
I could remember how many times brothers, like I can remember Johnny Wawa, you know what I'm saying? Johnny Lewis and Big Danny, and then you and Cat and all these cats, you know what I'm saying? And your brother Red, man. Red was like Big Bro was my man. Like I can remember Big Bro pulling up on me on the block many a times on Park Avenue and Market Street and being like, "Yo, get in the car, man. Come on, man. We family, man." You know what I'm
Right.
saying? He put me in
Right.
the car. We go eat, talk. You know what I'm saying? And
Absolutely.
come back. And it was about respect. You know what I'm saying? And understanding that where everybody was. This is where you are right now. But guess what? I'm still gonna love you, man. You still my bro.
There you
You know
go.
what I'm
There you
saying?
go.
You still from my hood, bro. I gotta make sure you right. You know what I'm saying? And anything I could do to help you, I'm here. Okay, but you gotta be a man and you gotta step up and hone in on your own accountability, man. You gotta hold yourself accountable. And that's what I learned growing up on 17th Ave. See, it wasn't no, you on 17th Ave, you couldn't run back to the block and be like, yo, man, these cats just try to fight me. But I hauled ass and come and get y'all. No,
Right.
no, you had to handle yours and then come back to the Ave and be like, yo, these cats try to get at me, man. Oh, yeah, so what, yeah, I handle it. But look, okay, well, let's go see what the real deal is. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because you always had to be your own man,
Right.
and that's the thing that the examples that was set by brothers like yourself and the brothers that I grew up around on 17th Ave. You know what I'm saying? In the direction I was given, it was always it was always about taking care of yourself, always about looking good, always about representing, having character, respect for your elders. That was we didn't tolerate anything else. I don't
Absolutely.
recall anybody disrespecting anybody's parents when we was, you know what I'm saying? Nah, we ain't moved like that. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? And those are the things that was embedded in me through my family, but it was also embedded in me in the family that was my 17th Ave family, the bros that I'm on the corner with, that I'm actually striving to survive and live another day of life with. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? Because it was rough out there. But the difference between then and now is respect. You know what I'm saying? We had respect for our elders. We had respect for our enemies. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And this, you know what I'm saying? This when we had beef with Alabama projects and stuff like that. There was respect about how things was handled. You know what I'm saying? It was like, look, we're gonna handle this in a way where we're gonna be men about this. Today is a lot of cowardism, and one of the factors is I think the recultivation that what we would like to see our community be today, it has to come from brothers like ourselves. You
Absolutely.
know, in
Definitely.
this way you see what I'm saying? Like the things that you're doing right now is what I'm talking about. This is recultivation. You know what I'm saying? Showing brothers that okay, you getting yours, but now you got to reach back because there's people out here who need you. Allah tells us in the Quran in chapter 6, 66, chapter 6, verse 66. He says in the Quran, excuse me, I'm sorry, in chapter 66, verse 6, Allah tells us in the Quran, He says, save yourself, then your family, and then your community from the brimstone of the hellfire. So this is what we need to concentrate on and learn how to first start loving yourself so that this love that you have for yourself, you can show this through your example of loving your family. And then once you show how to love yourself and your family, now you can push that love out to your community. Because this is the
Absolutely.
responsibility of men. As Allah tells us also in the Quran in Surah 4, chapter 4, verse 34, men are the maintainers, providers, and protectors of the women and orphans. And you notice in the translation, it's using the word orphans because it's not referring to just your children.
There you
You
go.
see? And,
Right.
and you know, and
Yeah.
so, that's what it is, man.
And that's the other thing. Like, we had respect and love for
Yes,
each
sir.
other. Even
Yes, sir.
people who, at the time, as you mentioned, projects in different areas was our adversaries at the time.
Hmm.
We would
Hmm.
still knuckle up, shoot the
That's
one,
right.
even if, like you said, like you go somewhere, you shoot the one, and then they jump you, you leave. You come
Yeah, that's
back,
right.
you come back. Look, I didn't get a chance to get the one, so I want
Yeah,
to shoot the one with him. So I need y'all to come so we can handle that.
that's right.
You know what I
That's
mean?
right.
So we go
That's right.
handle that. You shoot the one, win, lose, or
Yeah.
draw. It's
Sure.
win, lose, or draw. It's the fact that you stood up to handle your own.
Right.
Y'all
That's
shake
right.
hands, y'all hug each other, and you walk
That's right.
away, and you keep it moving. And
That's
that's
right.
what we're missing now in the streets. In the
That's
streets,
right.
as you said, the cowardism is okay. You step on my toe or you do something to me. Even if you beat me up, I'm running back to get the gun. Now I'm coming in back to shoot you. For
Yeah.
what? You know what I mean? At the
And
end of the day, you can heal. Busted nose, even a broken jaw. You can heal
you
from
can heal.
that.
That's right.
You
There's
know?
no coming back from a bullet, man.
Right.
It's no
Unless you're
if,
fortunate enough that it don't
no,
murder you. Unless it don't
it,
murder you, you fortunate. But 9 out of 10 times, you're not that fortunate. You know what I'm
that's right.
saying? 9 out of 10 times, now you got a body, and now you got to go to prison where you don't have a gun with you no more, and now you got to get your knuckle game up anyway. You know what I'm
Anyway,
saying?
you,
So,
you got to get
so
right. Anyway,
right. So save yourself the hardship out there, young brothers.
that's right.
Save
That's
yourself
right.
that hardship. Even if you want to learn, how to box and defend yourself,
Right.
man. You know, brothers like me and Malie, we'll come together and start putting something together so we can teach
Oh
y'all how to do that, man.
yeah, we
Because
love. Yeah, we would love. We get that, and that's something that we can start networking on doing. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Creating them because and I want to talk. I want people to remember like it was actually times when those type of situations would come up, and we would go. I'd go get the brothers on the block, and then we'd come to them, and the adversaries would have their people, and we would actually have like the brother who had the initial beef would square up with one brother, and then they might have another brother who got a problem, and then he'll square up with that brother, and you might have three bouts in that
absolutely,
situation.
absolutely. The same,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Three,
yeah,
three bouts.
yeah.
Like,
All
but
right, y'all finish.
if we,
Y'all finish. Let us
yeah,
do it. Let us do
let
it.
us do it. And
Right.
it was like that. It was like that. And today, I just feel like what is missing is the cultivation of our community recognizing and us looking at each other as African American men or black men, however you want to say it, American African. We're all the same people being oppressed. The
Right.
sad thing, these brothers out here fighting for blocks, they're fighting for streets and neighborhoods, man, that they own no property on.
There you
Not
go.
even not even that they don't even own no property, they don't even own a plot of land on it. You understand what I'm saying? And 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 we killing each other over things that are of no benefit to us. And we're waging war against one another when we are alike. And this is a sad thing. I don't have to believe as you believe, but when you're my adversary of social injustice is your adversary of social injustice. And at the
Absolutely.
end of the day, if just because you a Christian or you a Muslim and he's a Jew and he's a 5% and he's a Nation Islam, he's a More Science, he's a Holy Tabernacle, he's an Ansar, That's irrelevant to the fact that y'all have to coexist in a society, in a small, minute community compacted, that y'all have to generate, you know what I'm saying, a civil society amongst each other. And that is because no man, I don't know no man who wants to have the concerns of his children, his wives, or his family when they come home at night, that they can't, you know, feel safe to go in their homes. I know
Look,
when we was clocking on the block, we didn't have nobody out there robbing people
no,
because that was hot. That would We ain't gonna make no money on the block.
right,
If you driving by shooting, ain't nobody coming on my block. You understand what I'm saying?
right.
If you coming, you know, and these guys don't understand the day. I mean, and I'm definitely not for the hustle game, but I'm just saying, like, what are you doing? You know, it can't be all about what you're saying it's all about, and it's got to be a little more deeper. In this machoism, bravado that we possess, we need to understand where it came from. And at the end of the day, we have to start recultivating our community. We have to start introducing these people to books like the Willie Lynch theory or methodology of how to create a slave. Need to open their minds to understanding the Jim Crow laws, and they need to understand what they're up against and how this began. You know, people don't realize that psychologically we are not healing, and we're not healing because they ain't came for us, man. We are. Do you know that we're the only nationality that has not been given reparations by the injustice of America?
Now,
The only.
now let me break something down to you that you brought nationality up. Now,
Mhm.
we all know based on American English, right? Every a noun is a person, place, or thing. You know,
Mhm.
that's in English. Now we have to be open enough and you know to expand our minds to look at when we call ourselves black. And I love my people. You know what I mean? I love my people, and I got shirts with black on it, which I don't like to wear anymore because you mentioned the key word, nationality. And the reason we are not able to get reparations because black is not nationality. And nor is African American is a true nationality because each nationality is tied to a landmass and a people.
Uh-huh.
Like
Uh-huh.
you have the Chinese from China, you have the Russians from Russia. So when we say that we are African American, we're doing ourselves an injustice, and we don't
Of
know.
course.
It's okay that
Exactly.
we don't know, but now the information is out there, and a lot of times you will hear me say, we call I'll call us Moors. I call
Okay.
us Moors, not
Uh,
from the Americans, the Moor science or the Moor science, because they call themselves Moorish Americans. It's
mm,
similar to calling yourself African American because
uh,
the
okay.
the reality is Moor comes from Moroccan. It's a short version of Moroccan. So you call yourself a Moor because we're really Moroccans. And that's our true nationality. And our reparations will come from us being able to reestablish our own government. That's our reparations. Now, and the thing about it is, we're fighting now. Many of us, like yourself, you go to politicians and you go with them and you plead with them, you argue with them, you know you do whatever you have to do to get justice for our people.
Yes, sir.
However, it's a jurisdiction thing because they have civil and criminal rights over blacks, African Americans, Moorish Americans, because at the end of the day, there was documentation that was brought out like in the 1870 where we was naturalized, and if you read like the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment, where they
Right.
actually said we were able to be a part of citizenship. But if we're a part of citizenship, why are we the only ones fighting the way we're fighting for equality and justice, especially in what you in what you fight for every day, for the justice in the penal system? You know what I mean? That's a major fight that we're fighting, and people like yourselves, and we have, brilliant minds, and we're fighting against something that they never plan on changing, because they have the knowledge. They understand that
Right.
we are Moroccan Moors, and they laugh behind our backs because we say, oh, we African Americans, we Americans. But there's
Well,
documentation from 1952, France
right.
versus the United States, where it breaks it down. It breaks it down. These are and at first, when I first got a hold of it, I was on this big campaign. I was going to do, a black campaign, black power, black organizing. And for me, it's okay if we still want to utilize black because we're comfortable with it, but we
Right.
still need to know our true nationality. We still need to know who
Well,
we truly are, because we say we're from Africa. We know
right.
that Morocco was in Africa, and until it was called the Empire of Morocco, and this land, whom we now call America, was a part of that empire. And a lot of us, we shun over that because that's some heavy information, and it's going to take time to actually and be embedded into us. It's really going to take some time. I just wanted to take the time to just kind of gloss over it a little bit, but at the end of the day, I I I know that our true nationality is not black, because black is an adjective. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, black. And
And
then that's why I use whatever labels we want to, I can now, for those who don't know, I am first and foremost. Let me just let everybody know that today I am employed. I am the first. I don't know if you all can see that, but I'm the first felon in history of Norfolk, Virginia, to work in the Norfolk City Jail. All
okay,
right, and
okay,
it's just so everybody can see here. This is my card, my business card. I'm the Norfolk City Jail librarian and Muslim liaison. Okay,
mm,
I'm the first felon to be hired to work in the Norfolk City Jail. So I made history in something that I've never even considered. Now, why is this so important to me? And I'm going to tell you why. I'm also an author. I'm also the author of my book, Point of Impact. Um, and I'm also from Point of Impact, the book. I have a runoff. I'm the creator of my podcast, Point of Impact, which we interviewed ShaDee last year. You know what I'm
absolutely.
saying? And I'm also the NAACP. Let me give you another card to look at here. Get you right. Hold on. I'm also the NAACP, as you can see there. I'm the chairperson of the Criminal Justice Committee here in Norfolk, the NAACP. I'm also the founder of my own nonprofit, Community United Focus. You know, I'm also an entrepreneur of a herbal store, Authentically Me, Herbs and More. Okay. And I'm presenting all of this to tell you that from all that I just presented you, my greatest accolade to me is surviving 25 years of being incarcerated here in the state of Virginia. And I was incarcerated 25 years for unarmed robbery, no weapon, no assault, no trauma upon the victim. Okay. And I was given robbery. I was given 50 years with 30 years to do. I was given a life sentence. Okay. 50 years with 30 years to do for a robbery charge with no weapon, no assault, no trauma upon the victim, and $200.
Wow,
Okay. My charge was supposed to be grand larceny and I was supposed to receive my guidelines. Called for me to receive my correct guidelines. Called for me to receive 2 years minimum. Mid range was 4 years. Max was 8 years, and the mid range was 4 years with probation. So when I went up, I was supposed to actually be sentenced to 4 years of probation. I wasn't even supposed to go to prison.
Right.
Okay, but they sentenced me, and by the grace of Allah, I survived that. And for me, that is the greatest accomplishment of my life.
Absolutely.
Many people may not understand that. And why is it such the greatest accomplishment of my life? It's the greatest accomplishment of my life because through that experience came the man who you see before you today, who is the author, who is the chairperson of the NAACP Criminal Justice Committee, who is the first ever hired felon in the Norfolk City Jail, who was also the director of Old Huntersville Empowerment Coalition, in Norfolk. And also, entrepreneur, store owner, you know what I'm saying? From me taking that fall, that tragic fall, okay, came all of this. You understand? And I give all praise, alhamdulillah, to Allah. Because when I fell into that situation, the thing that I had most that kept me surviving, that kept me representing, was the fact that, you know what? I said, yo, I can survive this. Where I come from, I'm built for this. Okay, I'm built for this. You know what I'm saying? I'm built for this. And if I make good decisions and I make the right choices in my life, I should make it home to my family. Okay? And I used a lot of the incentive and a lot of the cultural experience that I lived through with my brothers on 17th Ave to survive. You understand what I'm saying? And to incorporate that with the people I was coming in contact with. You understand? So now when I'm coming into contact with brothers, I'm telling them that, yo, we supposed to be building, we supposed to be adding on, we supposed to be striving together in here. You know what I'm saying? That's where I come from, bro. You know what I'm saying? We ain't supposed to be out here, victimizing each other. You know what I'm saying? And I took that same message of how I was raised and cultivated, and I carried it with me in the prison system. So when people seen Malie or Minhaj at that time, they seen that I was a person who was about community, who was about our nationality, and who was about, Allah, God. And I didn't discriminate. Like I was always able to get along with the Hispanics, with the Caucasian men, with the Nation of Islam, with the 5%ers,
Right.
with the Christian community. And though I was a Muslim leader in the jail, I was respected by all leaderships and all fractions of people. You understand? Because I was cultivated that way from the community I came from. You see what I'm saying? I grew up in a community that said, hey, man, we incorporate, togetherness because our community is all we got to take care of one. That's why I named my organization Community United Focus,
Okay.
because people need to understand that and when you live in a community, you're not one single community. No, you're a communion of people that are unified, and y'all have a responsibility to take care of one another. Now, I want to add on to something, and I want to build with you on something.
Go ahead.
Now, when I was incarcerated, I had a lot of they used to call Virginia was considered the cradle of Islam. It was considered the cradle of Islam, to say hello to one of my neighbors. It was considered the cradle of Islam because a lot of the knowledge of the correctness of what I would like to say Orthodox Islam was not prevalent here.
All
You know
right.
what I'm saying? In the 90s when I got incarcerated. I got incarcerated in 1996. Okay, May 24th, 1996. I was released December the 20th. December the 17th, 2020. Okay, and people don't understand, like out here, Islam was not, it was like a fad. You understand what I'm saying? So when I got there and understanding that I grew up through the 5% nation. I was a 5%er when I came to Islam. I
Right.
went through the more science. I was enlightened about more science. I was enlightened about the holy, the Ansars, and I was enlightened about the Nation of Islam. You know what I'm saying? Because when we were growing up, those were the spectrums of
Yeah.
Islam. You understand what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? These are the sects of Islam that we grew up in North America. You know what I'm saying? In North America, it was, this was the Nation of Islam, the fruit of Islam, more science, and actually more science. A lot of people don't know more science. The foundation and the home of more science is North New Jersey.
Mm.
So you know what I'm saying. People don't understand all of this, and so for me, having this background and this knowledge, it enabled me to move a little more swiftly because I was able to build with brothers and not be in indifference with them. You understand? Because I understood that even though that we weren't on agreement of belief systems, I understood and respect where they was coming from. You understand what I'm saying? Because they're coming from something that I had already a transition through. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying? To get where I needed to be. So it wasn't for me to tell them that ain't correct, brother. That ain't nah. That's for them to learn what's correct for them and what ain't correct for them. You understand what I'm saying? It's for
Absolutely.
me just to provide the knowledge that I had of what Islam is. And one of the things I try to tell a lot of people, because a lot of brothers speak of more. More comes from the word more. More is a Spanish word, and more was the language, or more was the language that they would use to identify anybody who was of black or brown complexion. Okay, and when the Europeans would come upon anyone of our complexion, they would refer to that individual as a Moor. So when the Moors were invited into, when these Moroccans and these Muslims were invited into Spain, remember, people don't know, they did not conquer Spain by creating an attack on the city or nothing like that. No, in the country, they were invited in by the people. You see what I'm saying? And this is where you got the Rock of Gibraltar. May Allah forgive me, I can't remember the Emir's name, but they were invited in because of the cruelty of the Christian dynasty at that time that they were oppressing the people with, and the people wanted better. So I tell people all the time, look and study and understand. Now, if this is something that's for you, if you want to recognize yourself as a Moor, then brother, so be it. If you want to recognize yourself as a black man, so be it. If you want to recognize yourself as an American African brother, so be it. If you want to recognize yourself as an African American brother, so be it. But at the end of the day, we need to know and understand this fact. The fact is this, that 70% of us, 70% of us that are here in this country came here through our ancestors, our predecessors, okay, our Salaf, who were kidnapped or sold off, okay, into the slave market and brought to this country. So at the end of the day, no matter what we want to title ourselves as, we are still going to be oppressed under the same code of oppression. It's not going to be different for you because you call yourself a Moor. It's not going to be different for me because I call myself an African American. It's not going to be different for you because you call yourself a black man. It's not going to be different for him because he calls himself an American African. Nah, bro. When we go up against these people and they come for us, bro, they're not recognizing none of that. They just seeing you as the product that you was brought over here to be. You were not brought over here to be a contention of a man. You were brought over here as a product, just like cows, just like chickens, just like pigs, just like any other livestock that is brought into this country and imported into this country. That's what we were brought here for. You understand? And if we can attain this understanding and break away from all this other unnecessary division, we can do a lot more justice for ourselves. And there's a statement that I use: justice must be amongst us before we can demand justice from others upon us. And when
No,
we start
I definitely
dealing
agree
with
with that.
each other in justice, whether we're Christian, whether we're Muslim, whether we're Jew, whether we five, whether we Nation Islam, more sons, when we start, whether we Rastafarian, when we start dealing with one another in justice, then we shall attain equality. You see what I'm saying? Then that equality will then give us the key for equity. So now, why? Because we are standing together and we are able to transcend through the obstacles and the barriers that they're placing between us because we got each other's back. So when a brother falls down, he's not falling and then the fight is lost. When he falls down, you there to pick up the banner and continue to push. You see? Because you're unified on that one cause of attaining what? Equity. Equity.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. That's the number one goal is for all of us to be treated equally. We've
Mm,
been fighting for equality for centuries now, and
mm,
it's different. Okay, I put something on my site where I said that we are teams. We are team. We are one team, and we have many different jerseys. So our
mhm.
jerseys is black, African American, Muslim, Christian. Those are our jerseys. Now, for me, it's about okay, we got all these different jerseys, but how do we really come together as a community? And when you say community, you can't spell community without unity. You know what I'm saying? So our community is off because we can't seem to unify on something as simple as a nationality. And that's by design. Because, as you said, people being brought here, we bicker on certain things. Like there's certain things, there's certain informations we bicker on and we go back and forth. But the ultimate goal is okay, we each have to be able to open our minds to each other and say, okay, let me see if what you're saying has some truth to it.
Validity.
Because ultimately
Yes.
it's about truth. It's about
Yeah.
truth because even facts can be skewed. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Because something can be factual today and tomorrow it's not a fact. But the truth is the truth. Like
mm,
for example, a fact could be, okay, today me and you are here dialoguing. That's a fact. Now, tomorrow we won't be dialoguing. You know what I'm saying? So it won't, if somebody say, yeah, Malie and ShaDee dialoguing today, that won't be it won't be the truth. You know what I'm saying? It won't be the truth. But so we have to realize that okay, because there's look, you named all the things that you went through to grow into who you
mhm,
are now. Now the beauty about it is you weren't afraid to try different things to get to where you had to be. And that's a fear that many of us have to be able to overcome. Because at the end of the day, what do you got to lose to study? Somebody posted something about the Moroccan Treaty. They said the
mhm.
Moroccan Treaty didn't come till later. Now, I just want to put this fact out there, a fact, because and based on information that we received, it's also true because the fact is we say we've been slaves for 400 years. That's a fact. Where people be like, yo, we've been slaves for over 400 years since the 1600s. Now, the truth is America didn't become America until like 1780 something. So if America came America 1780 something, how were we slaves 400 and something years? The
Now
math don't add up. Go ahead.
let me give you the knowledge, son, to build on about that, right?
Right.
It is said in Islam that that Noah practiced and called the people to Tawheed for 950 years. So people will say that Noah lived for 950 years. But what they fail to realize, when the scholars, when the Jamor or the Farouk, the scholars, the Alim, the people of knowledge of our religion are saying this, they're not talking that he lived in the physical for 950 years. They're talking that the methodology of monotheism, the worship of one God, his monotheism existed for 950 years. You understand?
Okay.
Before there came that entanglement of what we call shirk, associating partners with Allah, with God.
Right.
All right, when people started to, so now when people say 400 years, if we study and look at the transcripts or of the book, Willie Lynch, Willie Lynch mentions, well, and then some people feel that the book is not authentic, but
Right.
I disagree, and it's,
Right. Right.
that's up for
Yeah.
debate.
Yeah.
That's another story.
Right.
But
Right.
but we do have to all agree that his methodology has logic to its implication. So in this methodology, he printed that it would take 400 years for the slave to break, for this
Free of the
mentality.
entanglement, the mental entanglement.
Right. You see what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Before they would
Okay.
even be able to unwind themselves from this psychosis of slavery. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So people have to understand, when we say 400 years, we're not saying that we was in chattels for 400 years. We're saying the methodology of slavery
Okay.
has suppressed us for over 400 years. And
Now,
and that's what I love. See, ShaDee, what you doing, brother? May Allah raise you up, brother, because what you doing is what we need more brothers. See, we have to have these type of networks, man, to where we can come together and we can build with reason, man, and
absolutely.
understanding. It's not about you being right and me being wrong. It's about us building to an understanding for what? To respect one another's individual idea of what we see as our reality. You understand what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? And how
Absolutely.
we want to see, life being projected. In community, CAMM comes from what? It's comes from the word communication. Okay? So a community communicates in unification in
Right.
order to bring about a civil society.
Absolutely.
We have to start taking care of us. Black people have to start loving and caring for black people. We have to stop kicking our kids out the house when they're 19 and 20 years old. We got to start sending them off to school, letting them get their education, and letting them come back to that same house, that same neighborhood when they become doctors, when they become lawyers, when they become engineers, when they become teachers, and they have to come back to what? To where they have their foundation. And then with that, they plant a seed. Now they plant the seed to help the next generation understand that they too have to go get that wealth, because the wealth is knowledge. Once they get that wealth of knowledge, bring it back. This is what we fail to realize when we see our brothers and sisters from Africa, when we see our brothers and sisters from India, when we see our brothers and sisters from China and Japan, and when we see our brothers and sisters from Mexico, Puerto Rico, the Hispanic community of Dominicans and Puerto Ricans and Cubans, and you know, and we used to make fun of our Hispanic brothers and sisters when we used to be like, the Puerto Ricans, man, they like roaches, they live all in together. But guess what? What they're doing is exactly what we should be doing. You understand? But because of the psychosis of mental slavery that is imposed upon us, we naturally now divide. We divide from one another. We separate from one another because that's what we were trained to do psychologically. You understand? And so when that 3% or from 1% to 3% of us become aware of that and start to rectify that, you think that's going to be solved in 100 years? In 200 years? No, that's a whole nother process of 400 years of evolving and refinement that we have to go through. And this is why programs like what you're doing, the things that you're doing in the community out there, and I'm going to tell you too, brother, you need to put more emphasis on what you're doing in the community. People need to know what you're doing in the community because you're doing a lot. And a lot of people don't know just how strong it is that you're doing out there. You know what I'm saying? How you bringing all the brothers together. So please, I'm asking you, speak to that more often, okay? You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate your humbleness, but you got to speak more to that because you are a pure example of what all of us should be striving to do. You know, you went out, you accomplished yourself, you got yourself right, and you went and brought the same facilities and stores that we once used to play pool in and sit out in the back, and you went and brought every damn store on the block. You see what I'm saying? And now what are you doing? You're giving it back to the same community that you once left. You see, this is what we need to be doing, man. Pouring back into one another. This is what we don't have right now. And our kids they don't realize that they are in the same struggle. You understand? They don't realize because they're blood or they're Crip or they're Vice Lord or they, whatever GD, they going through the or they Latin King, they going through the same struggles. Ain't there one of them going through nothing different? But yet they making one another their enemies.
Right.
While their true enemies sit back and he laughs. And he employs more plans, greater plans to divide them. And you said the fact, brother, we do need truth. The scholars of Islam, they say the truth is not found in men, but men are found in the truth.
Absolutely.
You see?
Absolutely.
And this is what is very important, man. And I just like, just to say this to the people, man. If I don't leave you with nothing else here today, brothers and sisters, anybody listening, know this, man. The battle of self must be won before the war against another can begin. The battle of self must be won before the war against another can begin. Before you think about taking up some guns and going out here and blasting on somebody else, man, go look in the mirror. Go look in the mirror at that cat who needs you to love him, who needs you to sacrifice your lower self for your higher self, who needs you to stand up and be accountable, who needs you to throw that macho bravado behind your back. You see what I'm saying? Because you're killing them. When you go out there and you kill somebody, you send yourself to prison for life because now you done killed yourself physically. You know what I'm saying? And mentally. You see what I'm saying? And probably your legacy. You're saying your loins of your family. When you're going out here and you're trying to, you're throwing these rocks in your community, man, and you're poisoning your community, and you're going out here and you're sticking up brothers and sisters who are out here grinding hard to take care of their family, man. You know what I mean? These are the things that we got to start realizing, man. Like we hustling backwards, and it's time for us. We know the truth, so it's time for us to continue to do what we're doing, man. Because you can't jump on nobody else, man, until you first jump on the person who's truly responsible, and that's you.
And you said it beautifully because you basically said that look, you gotta win the battle with yourself before you can fight anything. And I heard Nipsey Hussle said, and that would you rather be at war with the world and at peace with yourself, or at peace with the world and at war with yourself? You know what I'm saying? So at the where I'm at now, I'm at peace with myself, but I'm at war with the world. You know what I mean?
Right.
With the world that we
That's
live
right.
in, it's a war
That's right.
because at the end of the day, we as a people, and you mentioned the slavery thing, and the slavery thing is significant
Right.
because it creates a mindset. it creates a mindset for individuals to look up on individuals with darker toned skin for a profit rather than in an equal way. They looking at you in a manner of what can I get out of you and what can I get from you rather than what can I do for you to help you become better as a human being. Like, I'm for all people. I love humanity. However, my commitment and my obligation is to my family first. And I am a part of the family that share the skin tone that we each share. And what we want the young people and everyone who's watching to understand that whether we call ourselves Moors, Moroccan, or Black, and even the fact of me being where I'm at, wanting to put together our own government, and it's not because I say I dislike other people who call themselves Americans. I dislike what has not been done for the people that I'm a part of. That's what I have a problem with. The people that I'm a part of has always, as a whole, gotten mistreated, gotten used, gotten manipulated, gotten abused. So it creates a problem for me. As you said, based on the way we grew up in the 17th Ave family, it was about protecting and helping each other. And that's the same thing that I'm doing now without the drugs. You know what I mean?
That's right.
My product now is my words. My words and my videos, that's my product. That's what I push now. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to push anything that's going to down your spirit or hurt your mentality. I'm only trying to uplift you. So whenever you hear me speak to you, it's about upliftment. Even if you disagree with what I say as a person, it's still about helping us. You know, the ultimate.
But beloved, see, that's the thing, right? We gotta understand that it's okay to disagree, man.
Absolutely.
You know, you know, we constantly think that, you know, when we come into a room with people, that everybody we want everybody. I don't want everybody thinking the way I think. I don't want everybody feeling the way that I feel. You know, I want diversity. You know what I'm saying? I want people to bring something different to the table. You know, give me another angle to this. You know, give me another view to this. You know what I'm saying? The posse open up a greater vision for me. You see, we have to stop thinking that diversity just means, you know, people looking different than us or acting different than us. No, man, we all think differently. You know what I'm saying? And we transform things differently. But I just wanted to say, man, like, again, to people, one of the things I learned about change, I learned that change for me began in my heart. And I learned that my heart is the king over all my limbs. If my heart did not facilitate and pump the blood to my brain, to my feet, to my fingertips, to my tongue, I wouldn't be able to taste. I wouldn't be able to feel. I wouldn't be able to think. I wouldn't be able to walk. You understand? So my heart is where you know, I find this tranquility of peace to work and to change. And when I started changing the things that I was pouring into my heart, my mindset began to change. My feet started to change to where they wanted to direct me. My hands started to change to what I wanted my hands to be involved in. My eyes started to change as to what I want to visualize and see. My ears started to change as to what I wanted to take in the noise and the pollution. You understand? And block out what is, you know, what is pollution, and then take what is positivity. So I just, you know, I love to just encourage other brothers and sisters, you know what I'm saying? Stop saying first and foremost that these kids won't change. Stop saying, you know what I'm saying, man, I can't deal with them. Man, I don't know what to do with them. Man, they don't want to hear nothing I got to say. Stop that, because guess what? That's the same thing our people was saying when we were youth, you know? But they hung out with us and they maintained with us and they held it down. And, I just want people, man, to step up and realize that, hey, man, we can bring about change. Change only comes about through change, man. It don't come through sitting still. It don't come through just procrastinating. You got to get out and you got to do some work, you know? And I thank you again, ShaDee, man. I know you're running out of time here. And I thank you, brother. You are my family. You are
Yeah,
my brother.
brother. Yeah.
I love you.
I love
I
you too.
love you, man.
I love
I
you
love
too.
you.
And what I want to end with is, from what you were saying, is that the whole thing about doing the documentary and having you on and other brothers on is to show that change exists. We are examples of
Exactly.
that change. So
Exactly.
when people hear, us talk about the drugs and things of that nature, and I have to explain it to my wife at times that no, I
Mm-hmm.
talk about it so that people can realize that it's a way out. I'm a
That's right.
retired drug dealer. I'm a retired
Mm-hmm.
drug dealer. Not that I'm proud of it, but it's something
Right.
that I went through to get to where I had to be now. Everybody don't deal with drugs, but everybody got a struggle. Everybody got
Mm-hmm.
some type of struggle. So at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day, we need to accept the things that are different about us and
That's right.
embrace those things and know that the things that are similar about us is even more. Because at the end of the day, we all want our children to be safe. We want a good place of shelter.
Yes, sir.
We want to be loved. We want to be accepted. We want to be respected. We want to be protected. And we all want that no matter what skin you're in. So
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to that, as a humanity, don't look at people who share the same skin that I share like we your oppositions, because we're not. We're not in
That's right.
opposition with you. We only want what plenty of you deserve, that you get easily. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Plenty of you get it easily. Part of I'm trying to remember whether I think it was the 15th Amendment where it said that people of African descent or would be able to share in the same things that white people now enjoy. It's the more 15th of between the 15th, 13th, and 14th. Now, this is an amendment in the Constitution that says that, okay, one people are being unfairly untreated because of their skin tone or because they don't have a true nationality. So we treat them differently, and not differently in a better way, but differently in a negative way. And
Mm-hmm.
that's the thing that we have been fighting. We have Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. We can go on about individuals have been fighting just for equality. That's it. We don't want nothing special. We don't want nobody to give us nothing. All we want is equality. Give us the equal opportunity under the law, under politics, under the workplace, in every other area. We just want the equality. As you said, what we're going to have to do is go back to what we used to be. See, when you were talking about, you know, our Latino brothers and sisters, you know, in the houses together, we used to be that way. We used to be
Exactly.
that way prior to, 60s. It started changing like in the 60s. Then it was still that way in the 70s. It was that way in the 70s because if you think about when we grew up, there were,
Mm-hmm.
it was community. It
A
was a
community,
neighborhood
a
because
neighborhood.
you knew the neighbors. It was a
That's right.
neighborhood. Then in the 80s, it became the hood. They took the neighbor out.
That's right.
So now you
That's
don't
right.
know nobody. Now Ray
That's
don't
right.
respect nobody because Ray and as you said, look what happened. You did 25 years in prison. So think about, and you're not the only one. It's the statistics of how many men are in prison away from their families, and their families got to function without them.
Let me just give you so that people can understand the validity of how important it is for us to move. Right now in the state of Virginia, 20% of the population, resident population of Virginia is black men. 43% of Virginia's jail population, this is what I said now, 43% of Virginia's jail population are black men. 53% of Virginia's prison population, 53% of Virginia's prison population are black men. So now, 20% of the residents is black men, but the jail doubles that. 40%. The prison quadruples that. 53%. So we absent from our own communities, our own families, from our own society. You understand what I'm saying? And that's why our task is continuously greater, because we're not prevalent. We're not there. And I just wanted, because I get ready to go, ShaDee, I got to get on the road.
Yeah,
but
that's okay.
I just want people to understand that, and I salute this to my family. My wife, she always tells me, she says, Malie, your narrative is not the fact that you did 25 years. Your narrative is what you're doing with your life today, and the work that you're doing with your life today. And I think, that's what we all have to understand, that we need to keep a window open of the past so that we can allow ourselves and others to see through, just to show you where we came from. But we're not telling you. We want you to understand that this is who we are today. And it was through that purpose, because that's what God created for us to go through. Each one of us had our, you know what I'm saying? That was our journey. You know what I'm saying? To go through that in order for us to refine and get to where we are today. You know what I mean? I don't know no jewels of this earth that don't go through refinement. You know what I'm saying? A pearl, a diamond, a gold, it doesn't matter. Any jewels, it goes through refinement in order to get to that fine shape of jewel and value that you want from it. You know what I mean? And we too, as human beings, have that same pattern. We have to go through refinement. And that was our refinement. That was our journey. And again, bro, I gotta go, but I just want, if I could real quick, everyone, please go to lulu.com and get your copy of POI, Point of Impact, Prisons of Incarceration, written by yours truly, Derek Minhaj Malie Hansford. Please go grab that. And I'm gonna say this again. I am from Patterson, New Jersey, 17th Ave. I represent hard. I've been repping this my whole life. And I'm telling you right now, we about building, we about adding on. And I'm looking forward to seeing more brothers from Alabama projects, CCP projects, Governor Street, 12th Ave, man, everywhere you can think of, man. The 10th Avenue, 5th Ave projects, what is that? Brook Slope projects, everywhere. Down the hill, up the hill. I'm looking forward to more of you brothers stepping up, man. Let's get at it, man. Let's do this work, and let's do it and together. I guarantee you, together, if we stand together and push this message of recultivation and re-education in our community, we can win. And I thank you, ShaDee, man. I got to press down the road, man. Okay. And I got emotional earlier, man, but I love you, bro.
I love you too, brother.
You my family. I'm so grateful for you, brother. And I have nothing but gratitude for where Allah has brought you. You know what I'm saying? And seeing you glow and shine like this, man, is so humbling to me, man. You know, I don't expect nothing else, because this is who you always been, a leader. You've always been a brother who's about the people, you know, and I thank you again, man. And I want to thank Red for allowing me to come up to the spot and you know, be interviewed, man. I love that brother. That's my heart, man. That's my big bro for real, man. You know what I mean? People don't know, man. That's my big bro for real, man. Man, me and Red used to go on excursions sometime. You know, he'd come and get me. We just escaped for 2 days or something, man. You know, that's my man, man. But I love you, bro.
I love you too,
And tell your
brother.
family, I love your family. You know that we all grew up together. You know, they family to me. Anything I could do for you, man, let me know. Reach back to me.
Same here.
Let's
Same
build
here,
again,
brother.
man.
Yeah, same here,
All
brother.
right.
Looking forward to, coming and, spend some time with you
Yeah.
and the wife, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, y'all look out because Point of Impact podcast is coming soon. ShaDee gonna be up. We looking to get ShaDee up there about maybe May or April and get him on the show, man. So y'all look out for that, man. That's gonna be a real nice thing, man. And yo, I'm out of here, man. I love you. I love you, fam.
All right.
Peace, bro.
Please.
I don't know how we get off this joint, but this is beautiful. I
I
don't know
got
what
to
you
take
got.
us off.
To
All right.